So they're definitely a team that can impress. But it looks like we're in the game, and it looks like it is the knife round. Epsilon versus Publiclir. I hope I said it correctly.
Let's try to say it as possible.
Yeah, we'll just say Publiclir. And the winner of the knife round, for those who are new to Counter-Strike, will be able to decide which side of the map they will start off as. It is D Inferno, and the better side, I think, is the CT side.
It's the more fun side. It's the more fun side. But yeah, I think definitely people will agree with you on that fact there. And let's see who manages to come out on top here. I'm expecting big things from Epsilon, just generally speaking. The thing is, though, you never know when you have a team that consists of Pyth and others.
Yeah.
You just never quite know. He seems to be in every single, just so many different teams. Pyth has been maybe some of the most lineups ever.
Yeah,
he always makes it work, though.
Exactly. For a stand-in, he did so well with LGB. So you know, he can definitely surprise us, and he's the main player that we know of with Publiclir, and the other players are not 100%. We get half funds from the two sides, as we thought. Epsilon will be starting off as the T side, Publiclir on the CT. And we do have two CZs with the CT side. Looks like it might be a second mid push here by the terrorists. We do have one remaining on T ramp. Just think they push in for a banana, which is what they're doing. Two CTs go to push for a banana. Very aggressive play here by the Swedish side. But Epsilon, ready in apartments. So that bomb side A execute.
I love that really proactive player to find information. And we are seeing Epsilon slowly, not really deterred by this pressure. And Publiclir didn't lose a single man, nor did Epsilon in such an aggressive opening here. But slowly, Epsilon do creep up mid, and we're about to get contact here over a CT arch. It does seem to be that Epsilon are going to be making their move. They've got a minute left in the round, and Publiclir are all over them.
Very nice smokes there by the T-side. Kiyoshima getting a kill on Pith early on. Arguably the strongest player for Publiclir, but the CTs return the favor as GMX and SF both go down. Kiyoshima with a second kill this round. It's 3-on-3. And they still don't have full control of the bomb site. The bomb might be getting... No, the bomb isn't getting planted yet. Shox and Kiyoshima, the last men standing. We have three CTs trying to retake the bomb site. And the bomb is now going to be planted by Shox. There's a nice little economic boost from the T side. Kiyoshima trying to keep the CTs at bay and doing quite a good job. He does a bit of damage on all three of them. There's not a lot of HP left, and Shox and Kiyoshima both at the same time getting the final kill. It's Kiyoshima against Punkus, and who will get the better of who? Kiyoshima has just slightly more HP, and he does finish off the job. Bomb planted, and the T's win the first round. 1-0 for the Frenchman.
That was an amazingly high-level pistol round from both teams. Oops, what are we seeing here? Let's get rid of that. So find the overview, and you know, we saw them moving aggressively up here in Publiclir. Get that information. That's the best little arrow I ever drew in my life, and that allowed them to know what was happening on the map. But Epsilon didn't drop a single player. This aggression didn't lose them anything at all. They held solid to their strat, and that unwavering discipline there, that in the face of such aggression, is actually quite difficult because you get tempted to a panic reaction. But Publiclir showing some good experience there, holding tight to their play.
Yeah, Publiclir at the moment have gone for a full armor buy with CZs. They do want to win this round. They want to stop the advantage of the French side, and by going for this early buy. And these guns are very dangerous, as we've seen before. We've seen a lot of the pro teams do absolutely ridiculous damage with these automatic pistols, and a lot of people crying nerf. But with a full armor CZ buy, it could go either way. Still, they're holding their positions. The T's will be going towards bomb site A. They don't have any idea of that yet. They do have one CT in apartments, which if the Epsilon side do not check relatively soon, they might be in for a bit of shock. He's going to peek at the wrong moment as GMX and SF together will get a kill. Pufran, though, takes down Kiyoshima from arch side and puts it back to a 4-on-4. CTs now all towards arch side, trying to retake the bomb site. They have nothing to lose at the moment. Piff picking up that AK-47. It was dropped earlier on the round by Kiyoshima. Bomb is planted. The time factor is against them. And are they just going to go and try and save the armor in AK-47? Or they try and go for it? They don't have a lot of time left. It is a pretty much full save by the CT side. Except for one, and that's Quits, who gets one kill. That hurts the economy of Epsilon slightly. But another round for the Frenchman, and that's anti-eco going for their benefit. 2-0.
So it was a really good save of that AK. You can really put a lot of work there, and I think it makes a lot of sense. They didn't have a lot of time to really do much, and they can keep the armor alive, and they're going to go for another eco anyway. So it made a lot of sense for them to just stick with the armor and the weapons there, and combined with the AK, looks like they want to turn it into an aggressive push here on Banana. Let's see how they manage to do with this, as it looks like Epsilon have a decent setup to try to deny this. There goes the action there from Kiyoshima, not able to connect too much damage, but the grenades will force Publiclir back off of that kind of offensive position on Banana. So Epsilon now, they have contained that threat. They are pushing that position while still maintaining presence on the rest of the map. And looks like Fonkis is a lone man here. Not any help to be found. No grenades from his teammates, nothing. And Publiclir now to deal with an impending rush from Epsilon.
They've held them back so far. On an eco round, that's not bad at all. They do know they're going towards bomb site B. They have 3 CTs waiting for them, 2 in bomb site just in case they move Pith. Doing a great job getting the first kill. Will he get the second? He puts him on low HP, but Mr. comes in to the rescue. Getting the first, won't get the second. Now it's back to a 3-on-3, but 3 CZs against 3 AKs, or 2 AKs and a Galil. Doesn't look too great. Kicks actually picks up Pith's AK-47, but is it a rotation towards bomb site E by the T side? Nobody's there to stop them. Pufran quickly rushing towards the site, seeing if he can at least stop the defuse. Maybe get them off guard.
Got to be careful with that CZ. Not so many bullets in there, but 2 men left. There's an AK on Quicks, and it seems to be that Quicks is just going to chill over by the fountain here. Chill with the fishes. With the fish, even. And Puffran's going to see if he can find some exit frags. And probably suicide it in the end. But generally speaking, I think Publiclir have been doing quite a good job. And it was a very marginal pistol round. It was a pistol round that could have gone either way, frankly. Both teams with exceptional performances there. And a nice little exit kill for Puffran. Maybe he can actually pick up that weapon. And both players of Epsilon are quite low as well. I don't know if there's anyone, no one visible. But another AK picked up. So pretty good situation for Publiclir. Not going to be playing with any AWPs, of course. But I'm interested to see what kind of setup that they go for. Are they going to show us more aggression on Banana, as is the metagame, as is a very effective style to play this map as far as seeking information goes?
Yeah, we saw them on the Eco stack bomb site B, then A, then B, back to B. And it kind of worked out for them. They were able to slow them down slightly. But,
I love the smoke. Sorry to interrupt you there. I love this smoke because you can do it 3 ways. You can either play further back, you can play the middle smoke, which gives you position on the sandbags and car, or you can play the deep smoke on logs. That's kind of the middle road there, and that does give them really nice control without quite so much risk. The deep log smoke gives you, it pretty much gives you the exact picture of what's happening on the map, but there is quite a risk, because if you have to make an aggressive push with nades, you're going to have contact, and if you go down, you can just lose the round outright. So I love the middle of the road play there from Publiclir.
Yeah, and banana control has really been the hallmark of this map lately. And losing banana control, or losing control of that part of the map, does not bode well for either side. As we do have 2 terrorists slowly sneaking towards bomb site B. 3 now. 1 making a lot of noise in bomb site A, perhaps trying to get the attention of the CTs towards that direction.
There goes pop flash. And Fonkis, can he deliver with the pop flash? No, he can't get the frags. He only gets 1. Can quick save it though.
So a great little bit of team play there in the bomb site with that pop flash, but Fonkis was not able to deliver and get that double kill. He was able to take 1 down, but it's a 3-on-2, bomb planted, sorry, and with the bomb site control to the French side, it's now up to Pith and Samster to retake control. They're both coming in from Graveyard now. The terrorists are all over the map. It's very tough for them. They're all hiding, not peeking. You know they're both coming from that direction. They get the first kill. They will get the second. It's all up to Mistu now, and he gets a double kill, defending that bomb site relatively well indeed. And that's something we did not expect. The unexperienced player rising up to the occasion there. and getting the round for the Frenchman. It's 4-0 for Epsilon.
You're taken to 21 health on the last man. Epsilon, they are not winning any of these rounds just without losses, severe losses. Every single round they're taking damage, and we can see that their money is not actually, considering they've won 4 rounds in a row, that good. And we're seeing an opening frag coming out from Mistu, and this is going to really hurt the control on Banana. This is going to allow them that option, but they're probably going to sit on this for a while. They're probably going to let Publiclir stew in their own panic and perhaps misinformation, because they have to make calls. What are Epsilon doing? That is the question for them. Ponkers, though, sitting with that AWP. He will have some support there, but that is a 2-2 split on either side. A is definitely the favorable one to go for in that situation, but what is Epsilon going to choose? Will the mind games hurt them, or will it give them the edge?
Well, Ponkers did a good job picking up that AWP, and it was dropped by Perfran early on in the round, and made it a less damaging loss. But we do have 2 shotguns there in apartments, and it's going to be very painful as Pith will get the kill on Shox, arguably the best player for the French side. And this is a very big mistake here by Team Epsilon, pushing into apartments towards a shotgun. Not very good. Oh. Goodness me, actually, every shot missed from that. I think they were just far away. They weren't in range. And now they're pushing in. They do know exactly where they are. Quicks trying to stop them from pushing through apartments into the bomb site. SF will be able to drop down and get that kill. Mistu with one as well. Ponkers now the final man with an AWP. Is he going to try and go for that round, or perhaps try and save that AWP? I guess he is. He was thinking about it then. Perhaps dissuaded by his teammates. Ponkers will be pulling back.
Ponkers, I got this, guys. I got this. 1-on-3, I got an AWP. Retake, no problem. But he doesn't even have a kit. He doesn't even have a kit. That's how confident he was. But no, of course
they told him to hide back.
Definitely.
Ponkers, don't lose that AWP, Ponkers. We need the AWP, Ponkers.
Save the beautiful skin, beautiful Asimov. It's worth a lot. But yeah, and again, another fairly close affair. And it was quite funny over in apartments. We saw that funny situation where there was basically terrorists all filling the screen, and the mag still missed.
Yeah, it missed every single shot.
It's crazy.
Now we know the distance where it's accurate and inaccurate, and it's basically apartment hallway, which is like 1 meter. So, I mean, if he had perhaps waited, let them go through, or perhaps hopped out just a bit later, it might have been a bit more damaging.
Definitely.
Anyway, we're going to thank all the viewers that we have at the moment. It's all 6,500 of you. It's a pleasure casting for you with DDK, and I hope you're enjoying the match and that you'll stick with us for the rest of the games. Nice nade, but SF denying the kill to Quicks as he gets the first and the second. A very aggressive play here by SF, controlling the bomb site. Will he get the third? Sadly not. Kiyoshima will finish off the job though. And now it's 2-on-4, and that was a very, very aggressive push by SF, and SF really showing how good of an entry fragger he is indeed.
That was just all pace. That was just, they completely outpaced Publiclir there. That was just, Shox just ran through, SF just ran through apartments. It's not often that you see that. You can see he's holding the nade, actually throw the nade. He throws a nade, the guy's going to go, oh no, a nade, I'm going to fall back. Yeah. No, he just ran through the nade and just gunned him down. And that was all she wrote. And already on top of quad before he can even make the call to his teammates about what's happening. That is, I love that, because that just shows a great understanding of the game to do stuff like that. It looks a bit like something you see on matchmaking, just running at people, but this is high-level CS, and sometimes that is the right move.
It looks like Misto's actually top fragging for his team. 6 kills and 2 deaths, not bad whatsoever for the newcomer. On the other hand, Publiclir not doing as well. We have a standard 2-3 split here. Pretty fast banana push there by the terrorists. I wonder if they're going to go all in. It's 2 CTs coming towards them, and Auto-Director is going to make us miss the action as GMX will get a double kill. They do have control of the bomb site. They're going to try and retake. Shox will be waiting for them, but Shox unable to rise for the occasion. Team Epsilon will be able to plant the bomb in the bomb site if they're... Yep, there you go. Took a bit longer than usual. But now it's up to the CT side to retake the bomb site. It's going to be relatively tough for them. Very good job there by GMX to get the 2 entry frags into the bomb site.
So here we just have a situation where, okay, 2 rifles saved, Samsa and Pyth. Going to save it. Puffran, get some extra kills. Get yourself a gun. Join the club of guys saving their guns, because right now you don't have one. There he has one now, but he don't know if he can save this. He does have an onslaught of players rushing towards him, almost taking down another one, which would have been a big help to the economic battle that they're facing right now. I mean, Publiclir, they're going to have a lot of money just because of the consecutive money bonus, or round loss bonus. But we can see that Epsilon, they are building the bank. They are building the bank pretty severely right now. Almost 16k on Misty. That is just crazy.
Misty's been doing so well. 7 kills and 2 deaths. Shocks, the star player that we expect to be top fragging is not, and the novice that we do not expect to top frag is. And perhaps it's because the rest of the team are not taking the game as seriously as Mistu. On the other hand, it might be just Mistu really reaching his potential.
I don't know how to use these graphs here. I'm just experimenting because we're in a pause. So yeah. Like, let's just go for it.
Headshot percentage.
Everyone lost.
But what does it mean when it changes? Does it mean it's been 100 since then?
It is unclear to me, sir. It is frankly unclear to me. These lines, they look pretty though.
They look nice.
They sure look good.
I like it. I like it. I like looking at it. I'm sure everybody likes watching these lines as well.
Yeah, this is definitely something. You can see the buys here, like the subsequent ecos or pistol loss. And this was where they bought pistol armor, then the saves, and then buy, and then just getting crushed and crushed and crushed more or less. But the thing is that the economy is being fairly stable all the way for Epsilon, despite some of the losses. And that's actually talking about a state of mind for your team when you're playing. There is always that effect. Let's say if you're playing with like, okay, if we lose this round, we have to eco. You know, if you're always playing within an inch of an eco. You know, with that margin of error being so small, that does have a slight effect. They're playing with such comfort right now.
Indeed, indeed. They're playing nice and comfortable. Publicly have done an okay job to keep their economy relatively stable for losing 7 rounds in a row. They've been able to cause some damage. And here we do have a banana push by the T side. Quicks will get a kill, so will Ponkus. And that's going to stop it right on its tracks. But will they continue to push towards bomb site B? It looks like the CTs are thinking that perhaps it is a rotation towards bomb site A, and it doesn't look like that is what is happening. Perhaps the Ts are just trying to spread out and cause confusion. Or in fact, just waiting for the opportune moment, as the CT who's rotating towards bomb site A, Pith, is now going towards bomb site B, or keeping himself in the middle. And it looks like it's going to be a push into bomb site A here from the apartments and mid at the same time. It's up to Samster. Will he be able to hold them off? Flash is... come to that statement for a second. They know exactly where he is. They throw that Molotov right on top of his head.
It's a really important Molotov there to remove that angle onto quad. Samster's the key player to stay alive for their defense to be successful, and in they go. Samster unable to have an impact just yet. He just gets taken down by GMX without any answer, no response whatsoever. But Epsilon are having a lot of troubles here. It is a 2-on-2. They will get the bomb down. Quicks and Pipe do remain for the retake. Can they coordinate themselves? Can they bring this about to be the first round here for Publiclir against Epsilon, who are just mounting this huge lead? Pipe is there with the first one, gets the second frag as well, and that will be the first round going to Publiclir. Finally, they get themselves on the board, and it really couldn't have come sooner.
Excellent retake there by the two CTs. It was a 2-on-2 situation. They did have more HP than the terrorist counterparts, but the first round for the CT side, and perhaps it's good news for them. 7-1. Best case scenario, they win the next 7 rounds, make it 8-7 on this CT-sided map. But it will do a bit for their confidence, so that they finally at least were able to get around against the T side. But what do you think went wrong exactly?
It was just, I think, a battle of execution. I think Publiclir had a very, very good line of defense. They just played a good standard game, and I think they out-executed Epsilon overall there. I don't think it was much more than that. But the biggest deal for Publiclir right now is the fact that if they want to bring this back to a scoreline where on the T side they feel, all right, we don't feel pressured, we feel comfortable with this, they cannot afford to lose any rounds in the next few rounds, because if we look at their bank, it's nothing. They're forced to an eco more or less, or a forced buy with Pipe dropping some stuff. That's what they're forced to, and then they lose that situation. Before you know it, it's you know, maybe 11-4, 10-5, something like that. So there's a lot of pressure on Publiclir right now, as they are losing apartments, or are they? Samson was something to say about that.
I was just about to say that Epsilon have such incredible map awareness in the past few rounds, but for some reason, SF didn't bother to check the apartments, and that was a good push, well timed by, I do believe it was Ponkus. GMX will get that entry frag on Puff right into the bomb site, and a quick rotation towards bomb site B is going to put the CTs in a relatively bad and uncomfortable situation, unless Ponkus is able to rotate in time. Quicks will slow them down with that smoke and flash, and that's a good job by him. It's 4-on-4. The round could go either way. We do have 1T on our side. He's going to be coming in all the way behind enemy lines, and this is going to be pretty bad for the CT side. If they do not see Shocks coming up, he's running with his knife at the moment. If he pulls out his AK-47, he's going to shut down the CT defense. He looks to his left, and dear Lord, Punkus will go down. Quicks will be able to get a kill, and he wasn't there in time. At least he puts it on a 2-on-2 situation. It could have been a lot worse if he hadn't been behind enemy lines. Now Pith is coming in. He knows somebody's here. Shocks against Pith at the graveyard. Who will get the better of who? Pith knows he's there, but Shocks will get the headshot. And now it's 1-on-1 Samster against GMX. This is a very important round for Publiclir. Will they be able to win it? It's GMX, the in-game lead up to Epsilon, and he's in the perfect position. Samster has no idea he's there, and he'll be able to pick up the round for Epsilon. 8-1 for the French side, and I think right there they crushed any chances of them getting a good amount of rounds this half.
Yeah, this is looking increasingly desperate here for Publiclir now. They're going to have to try to find some way to save this. They're going to go for another eco, but after this, they are going to be in for a hell of a ride. And we're seeing the CTs coming out. How do they decide to play this? We're going to see a quick pressure, or perhaps not. Actually, they're going to go for the old play here, where maybe they get a couple frags. Oh no, they're going to go with a flash and go in. I thought they were going to do a lot of bait play, but it looks like they're going to go aggressive with 3 men in a banana, but just the head's just getting popped off by Epsilon. No hope for them at all. Dream in the pistol, just completely shut down.
Yeah, and they were hoping to surprise Team Epsilon, but the Frenchmen were ready for that. I think they've studied their opponents well, or they've been pretty focused during the game, and that's something that Publiclir have been doing throughout the game. They've been going for those aggressive pushes. They've been going for the pop flash with 1 man behind the sandbag. It's worked for them a bit. It's got them a few kills, but now that Team Epsilon have caught the game, it's not really going to work anymore. Epsilon waiting back in the beginning of Banana until they wait for that flash to be thrown and then pushed after that. But that was a very smart play there by the Frenchman.
And Quickstran and Ponkus actually switched roles here because they don't have enough smokes. They don't have enough nades even. And we're seeing a lot of action over the other side of the map here. Puffbrand shut down over at quad. What can they make happen here? Quicks is there to respond through arch side, and it all just falls. Great cleanup from Pyth there right at the end. But they haven't got the nades, and this is a big issue for them. That's a great pickup of that round, because things can get so bad for the CT side. Once the economy starts just going down the toilet and you're struggling for nades, and if the T side realizes that, they can use that against you. They can have these plays that like really are delayed, prolonged attacks that weather all your nades, like all your reserves are gone. And again, we're seeing an aggression right down Banana here. Quick separated from his teammate, and Ponkus not gonna really experience much love there from the French side.
Well, an aggressive push on your own is a pretty tough thing to do, as Quicks tries to keep it up, keep control of Banana. They do know they're not going to be going towards bomb site B, at least. That's the information they have for now. But it is the quiet or the silence before the storm, as Epsilon are getting ready for aggressive push there by Samster. Is going to be a mistake for the CT side as he gets taken out by SF. Pith going back to rotate and help his teammate in bomb site B. There's only 1 person in A at the moment. That's Puffran. And
there is, let's see, 5 smokes still for Epsilon. Epsilon are still fully loaded on nades. They have everything. And looking at Publiclir, again, nades are very important on the CT side. They have nothing. They've got 3 flashes, a Molotov, and an HE. Now, they're going to get lucky here because Epsilon are going to go to the site that they are effectively kind of stacked towards with the 2 men on that beacon site. But this is going to have to be an immense performance here from the Swedes. Can they pull it off here? Pipe spamming through that smoke, not getting lucky, getting that return on the spam through as well. He's just going to go through. Is he going to wait for his teammate? He really needs to wait for Puffran to come and aid him. Puffran does have a couple flashes. He can toss over to the aid of Pipe. But this is going to be so difficult.
They're able to do a bit of damage towards the French side. They don't have a lot of HP on a few of their players, Shocks and Kiyoshima, but now I think the best choice for the CTs is to go back for a save and maybe get 1 or 2 exit tries. Pith will be able to take down GMX, who's trying to deny them the save. And now the T's going to go for the bait, or are they just going to try and get away from the bomb explosion radius, because they don't have a lot of HP on them. They do get to save 1 M4 as Kiyoshima one-shot headshots Pith, but 1 M4 at least is the at least it's better than nothing. That's all we can say.
That's all you can say, isn't
yeah,
it?
It's better than nothing.
It's that bad.
Yeah, they're in a bit of trouble right now. 10-2 with 3 more rounds left in this half. The CTs don't look like they're in a great position on this relatively CT-sided map against Epsilon. 10-2 behind. It's very improbable you'll be able to catch up. But we have seen miracles before, and perhaps we'll see a miracle today as a double nade will drop down. Kiyoshima will get the kill on Punkus, and that must have exploded right on top of his head to do more than 80 damage. Punkus, the unlucky victim of that nade. As Shox will get a solid spray down on Samster. 3 against 5 already. And the CTs have to be careful.
I'm almost cringing at this point for Publiclir. Things are looking so grim. I mean, a 10-5 scoreline really is the least that they could have wanted. And at this point, they're playing with 1 rifle, 2 auto pistols, and Epsilon are breathing down their neck, and that will be Puffran taken down as well, with just Quicks and Pyth remaining. And that was their M4. That was their last rifling player. And now Publiclir's Pyth or Pith and Quicks are isolated now. They don't have anything. And you can see Quicks is just going to be going here for some frags. And they've already spotted. Maybe they can see his gun through the door there. I'm not quite sure.
Not too sure, but all I know is we can't see his gun for some reason. Quicks.
Having some weird bug.
Yeah, it's a bug with Quicks on. And there you go, Kiyoshima will get the final kill. The CT's getting completely demolished. 2 rounds where they've barely lost any players. And I think rather than... usually on a map like the Inferno, especially when the CT side's ahead, we see a lot of comebacks. Even when the T side's ahead, a lot of comebacks halfway through the game. After one of the teams gets 6-7 rounds, the other side suddenly starts to play accordingly to the playstyle of the other side, and they're able to get 3-4 rounds and make it a more equal story. But on this, we actually see Epsilon go on stronger and stronger as we go into the game, and they look better and better throughout the game. Mistu has not been fragging as he was earlier on, but still, the rest of the team, GMX and Kiyoshima, have been getting a few double kills and whatnot. So for Publiclir, it just looks worse and worse. We do have 3 Clarions, or FAMASs, as people call them.
Go back to 1.6, man. Oh my god.
Wait, yeah. The thing is, they're very similar guns. They're just slightly different.
The burst doesn't work.
Yeah, I guess.
Burst sucks, man. But it looks like Epsilon are moving through to mid, and they have done this play repeatedly. It's been very effective. Look, they're just going to go for the smoke. Such a brave play coming in from the French players, but they're good for Pyth behind the lines, taking them all down. He gets a 3rd as well. Pyth on fire to save the round. Mistu falls. It didn't know what happened. And what a round there. Publiclir actually punishing Epsilon for what was a very ballsy play.
Wow. Pith waiting for the opportune moment. We saw him get flashed by Shox. He simply looked away. He didn't spray through and give away his position. He actually waited for the T's to run through. Shox was taken down by one of the opposite players. I think it was Puffran, who's at Pit. And then Pith comes out, gets the double kill, and gets the 3rd to make it a triple kill. And he actually won the round for Publiclir. And that's the kind of stuff we want to see from the Swedes. We want to see them making sure that they get the mistakes that Epsilon makes and win rounds out of it. And that was a big mistake, not checking to the left, not checking library. But GMX,
he's been on point. He's been really solid so far. I mean, he's always getting these entry frags. He's getting these long-range picks on mid. He's been playing fantastically so far. Some of the rounds they've won just because GMX walks in to mid, looks to arch, looks to quad. There's a guy, sprays him down, and it just wins those fights, and that just gets them that entry. And
he breaks the fable of if a player's an in-game leader, he can't get any kills, he can't get any frags, and he kind of breaks that that stereotype, I guess.
We're seeing quite a few of these top teams start to do that as well. Happy is a guy like that as well these days, being a bit of a beast.
Yeah, you're right, actually. But that was very nice by GMX, who didn't really show his face. He just wanted to kind of lure Puffran into firing those shots. Samster trying to see if he can get SF by surprise, but you're not going to get Super Fighter on surprise, but Puffran will get the headshot on him. GMX will get his 2nd kill of the round. And they do have control of the bomb site. It's 4-on-2. Quicks and Punkus, the last man standing. Punkus actually getting a kill, making a 3-on-2. And very interesting position here by the T side.
Whoa.
In pretty much exactly the same time. Shox and GMX will get a kill each and make it 12-3. Publiclir going into the second half with only 3 rounds. It's going to be a very, very tough half for them.
Definitely. And the loser of this is going to play again on this stream. We're going to have, of course, the loser of this, which so far looks like, you know, Publiclir, they're not looking in a great spot. Just going to say, not going to say they lost, but they don't look like they're in a great spot. And so if they lose this, they're likely to play Berserk. Because I haven't seen the results from NIP Berserk and how that's going, but I'm going to presume that NIP are probably safe there.
Yeah, but I do know that the NIP match was delayed a lot more than this match due to the power breakdown, which caused the delay, and pretty much a whole switch died. And the tech guys have been working hard to fix the internet over at DreamHack. So good luck to them. Hopefully there won't be any issues. Oh my goodness, Kiyoshima, a very nice headshot on Quicks. He could barely see his head. GMX pushing through. We'll get the second kill of the round. Third, actually. It's only up to Pofran and Stamster. And as I said that, it's now up to Samster, the last man standing. And this looks like a much stronger pistol round than the first one. And as I mentioned earlier, Epsilon are just playing better and better. And especially on the stronger side now, on the CT side, you can definitely see the difference between the two.
One of the concepts at play in this round and where things went really well for Epsilon is the fact that the CT pistols kind of suck when it against the Glocks when it comes to close range, even the mid-range battles. They can kind of suck because the Glocks, you know, you can run and gun and they're really effective. But at the longer ranges, the Glocks perform a lot worse. P2000 and the USPs do really, really well, and they were able to get 2 frags already from those ranges at the start of the round. So that really shut down the aggression before it could even get started. So Epsilon on top of things, and Shox with a pick down mid on the anti-eco, you know, starting things off well here. But really well played from Epsilon there.
I think Epsilon, they've begun to figure out exactly how Publiclir play. They're much more confident. They're pretty much aiming at exactly the right positions and at the right time. And they've pretty much figured out almost 100% what they're going to do on almost every single round. But Publiclir now went for a bomb site A little push, but rotated towards bomb site B. There are 2 CTs waiting for them. They don't need to rotate. Nice headshot there on Shox to put him on 9 HP. But the real push was towards bomb site B. SF not doing a great job. He'll back away, stay alive to get at least a kill. Kiyoshima will hop out for support and get the first. And goodness me, not bad there by Quicks as he will get the kill, but not control of the bomb site, as the CTs have done a very, very quick rotation towards it. Now Quicks is in a bit of a tough position, pretty much covered from every single possible side, and he won't be able to finish the round with any kills. 14-3 is very close towards Epsilon's victory. They only have 2 more rounds to win. And we can see the scores. 17 for GMX, as I said, he has been rising up to the occasion in the second half of the game, getting quite a lot of kills and quite a lot of entry frags for an in-game leader.
Yeah, it's really been going fantastic for them. After the game, because of course, Epsilon, they were really winning this game and gave themselves the best chance to win this on their great T-half. And so after this game, I want to show a few things as the Eco closes out about the way that they managed to effectively do that and the solutions that they found quite quickly into the match. And something that Publiclir were not able to give an answer for, because that's what actually happened in large part. And we see the 15th round there for Epsilon going down and with ease as they are playing against just some CZs. They didn't even lose a single man. So here we go into what could be the last round between these 2 teams here.
The T side for the Swedes has been relatively lackluster so far. They haven't provided anything fresh, anything dynamic, but they have been 3 pistol rounds as well. So there's not much we can expect. But it looks like it's a very aggressive push here. I think a few too many flashes have been thrown down mid. There's nobody there to receive them. Shox on truck side will get a bit of the after flash there, and it's a quick push into outside. Are they going to push towards bomb side B? There are 3 CTs there. That would be a huge mistake by them. They do have control of library right now, and I think they have control really of the bomb site. Yeah, Auto Director's loving the apartment sky, but it looks like the terrorists have control of the bomb site. CTs have given it to them. Now it's time for them to retake, and this is not bad whatsoever by Publiclir, who somehow have been able to go in undefended.
And this has got a big job on his hands. At the very least, Publiclir are quite low, and they're all in the bomb site itself. This bodes very well for Epsilon. They're cleaning up house, easy. And 4 of them still left alive, and that was really strange, wasn't it? I mean,
the thing is, when you go into a bomb site like bomb site A, you do not want to you don't want to have CTs sitting in pit. You don't want to have CTs in library.